Ding! This is when you say dong, or you would if you were a proud member of the Dennis The Menace fan club. People have accused me of being some weirdo living in a small room entirely decorated in Beano comic pages. Well, I'm not, and that's a filthy lie, and that footage could have been from anybody's house. It would, however, be a good setting for members of the aforementioned prestigious club. If you ever read the Beano before 1999, there's a very high chance you joined this esteemed society. Forget the Boy Scouts, forget the Freemasons, Mensa, the Skull and Bones, the Molly Maguires, and those upstart Illuminati clowns. They got nothing on this sacred Beano order. To join this elite association, my dad had to pay the extortionate cost of 55p. This seems wrong. I could have sworn it was more, but this is the listed price on the issue I cut the coupon form from, so there you go. Bargain. You did have to send it through a postal order though, which was a thing, and they also did not accept postal stamps as payments. What am I talking about? I don't know. Things are so much easier and better nowadays with Bitcoin, NFT, inflation, begging. Boy, we've really improved as a society. So, what did this 55p get me? This. Look at this. This is my original wallet I received at the tender age of 7. And look at the mint condition I kept it in. Ouch. Well, at least I still have them. This was the main draw of the fan club. You didn't get anything else, just the wallet, a certificate, and these iconic badges. The Dennis badges have had various designs over the years, but the Gnasher Badge, well, how do you improve a sunset? The Gnasher Badge came with these wobbly eyes, which is probably the reason mine have fallen off. I was a hardcore Beano fan. I wore those badges loud and proud. Don't worry though, I do happen to have another mint condition wallet with a Gnasher Badge fully intact. I say mint condition like that means anything. In truth, this is a really cheap yet official reproduction. The Dennis badge is fine. It's identical to the badge I had, but the Gnasher Badge is terrible. This whole thing is cheap. The wallet itself feels very flimsy and not as sturdy as the real deal. Also, the leaflet is a very slightly different size, which is outrageous. The Gnasher Badge fur is also very thin feeling. It could use a trip to Turkey for some hair transplants. The hair itself also just doesn't feel as good. It's really disappointing. I had held off on opening this for over 2 years waiting till I could make this video, so I didn't realize how bad a reproduction this whole thing was. Even the certificate is terrible. It's really badly printed. Just compare this new official remake to my original 25-year-old plus version. It really makes me question some of the other reproductions in that 80 Years of Fun collection box. Let's take a look at the wallet and certificate, revealing all the secrets only members were allowed to know. I kept this knowledge to myself for most of my life, but I think it's time to share with the world in the interest of history and preservation. The front is this beautiful silver logo of Dennis. This isn't the only design, however, as the earlier version of the wallet had the more brutish Dennis, and even later on in the updated wallet we got the sleeker version of our favorite Asbo boy. Asboy, as he likes to be called. This reflected in the badges as well, so depending on your wallet you will have a different badge design and different image on the certificate. The only constant was the Gnasher Badge. They really nailed that to perfection. It's so good. It's so good. The certificate you get is really nicely folded with the fun image of Dennis on the front. Again, changing depending on the version you have. I actually prefer the Brute Dennis version as it's very wholesome, seeing him with his arm around Gnasher giving him a big old hug. Well, let's unfold this bad boy and see what we have. It's not particularly laid out in any way that suggests page order, so we will begin on the letter. As far as I can tell, the message is the same for the Brute and Cute Dennis versions. Dear Beano reader, you are now a member of my fan club, and here's your membership card to prove it. Fill in the details and keep the card safely in the special wallet. Remember, always wear your club badges. Yes sir! All the best, Dennis. P.S. Grunt Gnash Y'all Snuffle. That's Gnasher saying, welcome to my fan club too. P.P.S. Club secrets over leaf. Well, so far I would say it was worth that 55p. Nice badges, nice welcome note, it's only up from here. Underneath we have a section to fill in our names, our address, and to add a photo. I never added in my photo, but I did think D's were B's, so that is something I learned about that idiot 7-year-old Ashley. What an innocent boy fool. On the next page we get the real top secret stuff, the passwords. I'ma tell you them, but keep the information to yourself. First, we were always told to greet other members with ding and expect a dong in return. I tell ya, Beano fans loved a good donging. The only other member at the time I knew was Cousin Eddie, and we absolutely did this on like 4 occasions, and nobody knew we were secretly saying hello. The idiots. They were all like, ugh, what is that? Are you doorbells? Should I answer? Where am I? Ah! Yeah, that was them and their reactions, the idiots. Apparently ding was an acronym for Dennis is never good, and dong meant Dennis owns naughty Gnasher. They really lucked out when they give Gnasher the silent G. We also got some Gnashwords to help understand Gnasher speak, which was essential for when Gnasher didn't speak English directly to the audience. Nosh obviously meant dinner's ready. That one was a given. Nashty translated to dinner's horrible, another obvious translation. Now for the important ones. Nark nark means my big sister is always going on at me, and I tell you what, I absolutely said this in my own mind straight to my older sister's face. The jerk had no idea. Not naughty is something I never said, as it meant I'm well behaved, which as a believer in the cult of the menace I never was. Now not nice, I'm not well behaved, that was more like me, because as you know, as we all know, I'm kind of a bad boy. Finally, we have night night, which we learn shockingly means sleep well. What other secrets does the fan club hold? Well, the final 2 sections are all about the different ways to wear your badges and what the badges represented. We have the classic upper chest look with a badge atop each pec to signal you read the Beano every week. We have our belt look, which I tried and it never worked because it's a belt, not exactly the optimal material to put the pin through twice. If you were a SWAT, you could wear it on the top of your hat, or if you were, well, I can't say the word now, but if you were a real Ed from Ed, Edd and Eddy, you might wear it on the bottom of your trousers like no, I can't say it. It's not the 90s anymore. I cannot say the M word. You are all wondering what the M word is now, but I'll never tell. You could wear the badges upside down if you were athletically gifted, or on your scarf if you were a dirty child who never washed. Other ways to style and profile them was on your bag if you were a good little softie who did your homework. And finally, you wore it inside your blazer suit jacket if you were a creepy person over 30. What? What are you looking at? The club was launched back in 1976 as a fun addition to help readers feel part of the Dennis gang. For the small price of 30 pence... Wait, what? I paid 55 cents. This is an outrage. So, who was in the club? Well, there was me, my cousin Eddie, my pal Chris, Kevin. Kevin was in the club. We all remember Kevin, our good pal Kevin. May he rest in peace. Also, many celebrities joined the fan club, including Luke Skywalker himself, who even wrote into the comic. Seriously, Mark Hamill is amazing. That guy is just the best. This isn't the only Beano Club he would join, but that's a video for another day. Other celebrities included Radio 1 DJ Mike Reed and TV presenter Timmy Mallet. I never heard of them either, but I'm Irish, so that's on me. I did hear of the League of Gentlemen star Reece Shearsmith, who joined and even wrote a letter to the fan club page. Top lad. Ding to you, sir. Ding to you. The letter page became the Dennis the Menace fan club page, and as you can see from all the hot celebs, it was the place to be. They would even offer prizes such as the Dennis the Menace t-shirts and even better, Dennis black and red jumpers. I would have killed my own cousin Eddie for that jumper. I'm not joking. I mean, he was stronger than me, mind, but I'm sure I could have caught him off guard and maybe pushed him down something. The letter page was writer Steve Bright's first taste of drawing for the comic. Who is he? Well, does Banana Man ring a bell? He was the co-creator back in the Nutty. Remember the Nutty? Of course you don't, because it's not Hoot. Remember Hoot? Let's have a look at one of these Dennis fan club pages, see what is up. Here's a page with a big focus on jokes. Fans send in their best ones for a chance to win one of those Dennis t-shirts. Michael Milmore with the joke of the week, what a top lad. Here is a more colourful page with some top banter from the Peanut Gallery. We even see a picture of this week's Joker of the Week, Julie, just belting out a banger. Top stuff. Let's have a look at the first Beano to tell us about this mighty club. Beano number 1768, dated June 5th, 1976. The front page advertises the club and tells us to jump to page 17. Well, what are we waiting for? We have a fun page explaining the club and what the Dennis and Gnasher club page will be all about. We see fans encouraged to write in their problems and to have them solved by our favourite menace. No, not that dickhead. This is sort of an agony aunt deal. If your problems or jokes got printed, you even got a £1 postal order. If I got a postal order, I would first be like, oh, what? What's a postal order? And also, I would never spend it because why would I? I'm a massive hoarder. We don't have any fan letters today, so instead we hear from some Beano stars like Minnie, Roger, who happens to have the joke of the week. Well, good job, Roger. At least you know what a joke is, even if you're not quite sure what a bloody dodge is. Maybe you should write to the Agony Aunt section and ask Dennis to explain it to you. We also get notes from Smithy and even Big Bad Butch Bodybuilding Walter. Love that Walter. Right away he stands up to that cretin Dennis, calling him out as the jolly rotter he is. Dennis, obviously intimidated, invites our boy Walter to join his club, and why wouldn't he? Having Walter in your club gives immediate legitimacy. They also encourage some animal stories to be directed to Gnasher, a fun first page to set the tone of the club. According to everyone's favourite Beano editor, Euan Kerr, Euan Kerr, him, the club enrolled over 2,000 new members every week well into the 90s, and there were similar numbers of letters and drawings. It was the office junior's job to go through all the fan mail, and it was an arduous amount of work and would often require help from other departments. The biggest amount of mail was directed at the Gnasher's Pet Corner, with a then sub-editor, Maurice Heggie, recalling, "The mailbag of pets was several thousands per week, and the popularity lasted and lasted." The club reached over 1.5 million members by the time it was retired. The 1 millionth member, some Simon lad from Surrey, was flown with his family to Dundee and received some goodies and also a slap-up feed of bangers and mash. Yummers. The club was ultimately supplanted, but a sad little "you can still join the Dennis The Menace fan club" corner remained for a while. The club eventually disappeared for 20 years, but people never forgot it. Well, they never forgot the Gnasher googly-eyed hairy badge. That thing was always the main draw, with many people joining the club multiple times just to get more Gnasher badges. And I can't tell you enough how much I regret I didn't pay an extra 55p to do that too. When the club eventually relaunched, it included a free online member site, which was a nice touch. In addition to downloading a membership pack from the Beano.com website, enabling entry to a special area of the website, you, or your parents, could also buy a physical pack for $9.99. That included a welcome letter from Dennis and Gnasher, as well as an official fan club membership card. I'm sorry, we went from 30p to 55p to $9.99. Inflation is out of control. This revival eventually closed down and folded into a newer Beano Club setup in 2024. And oh look, despite Brexit making it very difficult, I found a way to join it and get the new badges. Which, by the way, cost me a fortune. I went from 55p to over €70 from all the hoops I had to jump through. Was it worth it? No, absolutely not. But there we are, so let's have a look at the modern Dennis and Gnasher fan club. Well, first things first, just like the cover of the Beano, Dennis is no longer the star. It's now the Beano fan club. This wallet seems to be better quality though than the reproduction one, but not by much. Still kinda flimsy. Let's look at the badges. We lost the classic Dennis badge, replaced by an ugly yellow Beano Club one. The Gnasher badge though, wow. They knew the Gnasher badge was goated, and they upped that goat to a billy. The fur is a lot better than the reproduction, though maybe not as good as the original. but I can forgive it, especially for how good they made the face. The googly eye seems a lot more stable, and the Gnasher face itself is now metal and feels really good. It's not just a glossy piece of paper. I really can't praise this new Gnasher Badge enough. They really did the impossible and improved a sunset. Though again, the hair is a tiny bit compromised, but I'm a nitpicky rascal. The leaflet on the other hand is a big step down. Only half the size, which really reduces the value. The welcome note is a lot of nothing. The original one wasn't exactly Shakespeare, I know, but it felt more special. We do get some numbskull cameos and we have our Gnasher greeting like the original, but it seems cheaper with the speech bubbles. I don't know why, probably just me being pedantic. But in a Beano video, I feel that's what you want. Needless pedanticism. We have at the bottom a place to write our names, and instead of our address we have a spot for our favorite joke. Unfortunately, I don't think I will be able to fit the Norm Macdonald moth joke, which is upsetting. Again, it doesn't feel as special to me, a 30-plus-year-old man, but let's look at them side by side. One just feels more official. It doesn't matter, I know it doesn't matter, but damn it, it matters to me. On the other side, we get a very truncated version of the club secrets and how to wear the club badges. Maybe goating the goat of badges to the highest level of goatdom meant they needed to cut the leaflet in half, but it just seems needlessly stingy. I do really like the image of the Beano characters at the bottom, which is very nice, but they have the paper dented in a way to imply we're meant to tear this off and only carry it around. What demented 7-year-old would do this when it folds pretty perfectly into place? The biggest disappointment I have with this set is that it doesn't come with that nifty card the club had in the recent revival before being merged into this new Beano Club. Brexit really threw a spanner into the works for me when trying to get this wallet, and by the time I found a way to get it, unfortunately they went out of stock, probably due to the planned fan club merger. Still, from images I've seen online, it looked pretty rad. This 2018 version of the club also set up a secret membership area on the Beano app, which we can all agree is also pretty rad. And it continued into this new Beano fan club version. Well, that was worth over €70. If you live in the UK, don't worry, it will only cost you €25, so from 30p to €25. But it's part of the Beano Club now, so you do get more stuff, including a summer special and annual that unfortunately, thanks to Brexit, will cost me way more to get delivered than just buying them separate anyways. If you would like to see a video on the Beano Club, let me know down below. I mean, I'ma do it anyways, but encourage me, please. I'm incredibly needy. I need this. I need it. That finishes my deep dive into what I think for many people would be a very nostalgic, fun part of their childhood. I know it was for me, so one last time, ding, dong, and nighty night. Boy, I sure did say a thing or two about a thing or two. Who knows what I might say next? Could be something good. Only one way to find out, and that's by liking and subscribing. Go on, you know you want to.